Hey guys, it's Aditya from Phone Arena and I'll be unboxing and setting up the AmpliFi HD by Ubiquiti Networks. So let's get started with the unboxing first. Here we have the device in the box. Let me just quickly open it up. Very nice packaging indeed, and just a sec. Yeah, so let me flip it over. So that's what you get in the box. You have the main router, you have the two mesh points. Let me quickly pull everything out and show you what you get in the box. So here's everything you get in the box. You have a quick start guide. You have a Type-C, USB Type-C power delivery compliant adapter. So this is the same thing you get with your Nexus 6P or 5X or your Chromebook Pixel or your MacBook. Then we have a Cat5e Ethernet cable. And then there's the main router itself. It's covered in like white soft touch plastic. And we have the Ubiquiti branding on the top. Then moving forward to the back, you have 4 gigabit Ethernet ports. Then you have a Ethernet port for your internet, and then a USB Type A port that's reserved for future use, probably the Internet of Things platform offered by AmpliFi. Then we have a USB Type-C power delivery compliant USB port. I'm so happy to see the adoption of USB Type-C in everyday devices. The front is a touchscreen LCD display. I'll get back to that later on in the video. Coming on to the mesh point, this is also covered in white soft touch plastic. Here we have the signal strength indicator right here and the AmpliFi branding on top. So in the bottom piece is the actual thing that supplies power to the antenna or the mesh point. It's connected by it's a magnetic connection between the two. So let me just zoom in and show you the pogo pins through which the power is transferred to the actual antenna. So there you see it, we have 2 pogo pins on the piece and the 1 pogo pin on the actual antenna, and it just snaps into the place like that. So there's the mesh point. So I have the router ready to set up. I have plugged in my internet, and here it says you can either go download the AmpliFi Home app from the App Store or the Google Play Store, but for this part of the video I will be using my laptop to set it up. So it says tap for another option. So it says connect to the following Wi-Fi network to set it up. So I'll just switch to my MacBook and quickly set it up for you guys. So I have connected to the Wi-Fi network, it says on the router, and then you get this pop-up asking you for the Wi-Fi SSID as well as your encryption key for the wireless network. So I'm just gonna enter that real quick. So I've entered everything and I hit apply. As soon as I hit apply, the router restarts, not restarts, like soft reboots itself, and the Wi-Fi, the old network, disappears. So I'll just connect to the actual Wi-Fi network and show you guys what else does the configuration page of the router allows you to edit. So if I tap the touchscreen of the router twice, I should get to a screen which displays the router's IP address so that I can open the configuration page. So one more tap. There we have the router's IP address, and I will enter that into the URL bar. And we are greeted with this page which again asks us to download the applications on our iOS or Android device. But let's see if we have any options here to edit or change, that's what I mean. So now it asks you for the Wi-Fi password. I click enter, and then you get this option of changing your internet connection IP settings. So you have 3 options: static IP, DHCP, or triple PoE. That's all you can change from the web interface of this router, so you really need an app to take full control of your Wi-Fi router. The web interface is so limited, you can only go ahead and change your connection type. So this time we'll be using an Android app to set the router up. Last time we used a web interface to set it up. So here's the app you need to install on your Android device or your iOS device. It's called AmpliFi Home. Currently it's only available to users in USA and Canada. Ubiquiti says they are launching the device and the application in Europe and every other region by the end of 2016. So then it asks you to power off your ISP modem. I've already done that. Then plug in an Ethernet cable from the ISP modem to the AmpliFi device. Then plug in your Type-C adapter. Then power on your ISP modem. So I've already done those steps, and let's get started with the setup. So here it shows the AmpliFi main router, AmpliFi HD main router needs setup. I tap on that. It says loading, please wait. So then it asks you to enter the Wi-Fi SSID and the password. I need to connect to the new Wi-Fi network. So I'm connected to the new network now, not the setup network. And here we have the device in the application. Let me quickly go ahead and tap on it. So here's the main tab of the application. You have your AmpliFi device in the middle and then two mesh points on the either sides, but they're not connected as of now. Let's go ahead and see the second tab. In the second tab you have a graph of throughputs, upload and download throughput, and then you have a quick nifty tool to check your internet speed. You just tap the fab button and it will check your internet connection speed. It's not as accurate as speedtest.net or fast.com because I think it connects to a Ubiquiti server somewhere in the world. So it's not exactly the most precise speed test you can rely on, but still good to have it there. So moving on to the third tab, you can see this tab is all about the guest network settings. You can adjust the number of devices that can be connected to the guest network at a given time. The maximum number of devices is 10. Now moving on to the fourth tab, you have the number of devices, the host names of the clients connected to the network right now. So moving on to the fifth tab, this tab is a diagnostic tab. It just shows you if everything is working fine or not. The router manages everything on its own, so you don't need to fix everything like manually. It automatically fixes the internet if it sees it's down, or asks you to call the ISP if it's something it cannot fix. And now moving on to the main tab, if you tap on the AmpliFi settings right there, it takes you to this menu where you can, let's go to the general menu right away. Onto the general menu, you can change the router's name. You have the time zone, 24-hour thing for the LCD clock. Then you have system sounds, touch sounds, you can turn off and on. Then you have the locate option. If you tap that, the bottom LED ring on the router will start blinking like this. Then you have to tap the top. On the top right there's a tick button, you have to tap there to stop the locate mode. Then scrolling down, you can adjust the LCD brightness on the router from the app itself. You can also adjust the brightness of the LED ring on the bottom of the router. Then there's night mode. What night mode does is it shuts off the LCD and the bottom ring at a specified time and turns it back on in the morning at a specified time. This is done to save the LCD or the AMOLED display. I have no clue what kind of a display AmpliFi is using in the router, but it's supposedly there to help it from burn-ins, like preventing it from getting burn-ins. So you have a DHCP server settings and port forwarding. You can set up port forwarding if you need. And then there's about your router tab. It shows you everything, the MAC addresses and stuff. And then you have the software update option. So if you have to update the firmware of a router, you go to the app and you go there to set it, like check for updates. So basically that's about it for the AmpliFi settings. As far as the slide out menu is concerned, on the top left, it doesn't have much. You can contact Ubiquiti support. You can read the terms and conditions. You can go to the help center to read the frequently asked questions and stuff like that. So there's the app walkthrough for you. I still don't have the mesh points set up. Once I have them set up, I will let you know. And one small thing, if I'm not connected to the Wi-Fi network, if I'm using my LTE or if I'm connected to the internet outside my house, I cannot control the AmpliFi at all. Like, this is not cloud connected, so you need to be connected to the Wi-Fi network that the router is making to change any kind of settings. So that is one feature I would like to see in a future update, cloud connectivity. So moving on to the LCD display on the router, as you can see, the main mode is a clock/calendar thing, so you can see the day and date, that's all. And if you go ahead and tap on it once, it will show you the, just a sec, yeah, if you tap it once, it will show you the data usage since the day it was turned on, last rebooted. So you have the number of, like, you have the amount of data you have uploaded or downloaded since that specific day. And if you tap it once more, it shows you the external IP address and the IP address of the router, as well as a small little thing that shows you the number of clients connected to the router at that point. And if you tap it twice, this is the most intuitive mode the LCD display has. This is the one I use the most. So this can show you real-time network usage. So here you can see I'm downloading something, just a sec, it should be up anytime. So now I'm downloading something and it shows the usage in real time, both the download and upload. The right one shows the download speeds and the left one is the upload. And these are dynamically scaled. The router knows how fast your internet is, so it will scale the bars accordingly. That's the 3 modes of the LCD display. Now moving on to the mesh points. It's really simple to set one up. You just plug it into the wall, into the plug into the wall, and then it will take a while to start up. We are going to wait for it to start up right now. It's up and running. It will start searching for the Wi-Fi, the actual router, so it doesn't connect to the Wi-Fi directly. AmpliFi is using some kind of a TDMA proprietary protocol to connect the mesh points to the router. So it will start searching for the Wi-Fi access point, that is the main router, and connect to it. Let me see how long does it take right here. Sorry for the focusing issue right here. So once it finds the network, it will beep once, and all the 4 or 5 LEDs, like the signal strength, should be depicted by the number of LEDs being up, like lighted up. So here's the access point connected, and now the app part of the access point. So it shows on the left the access point is connected, the signal strength. If you tap on it, then it shows you the signal strength, and then you can choose the backbone if you want the access point and the mesh, like the router and the mesh point, communicating on 5 gigahertz or 2.4 gigahertz frequency. So you can change that. 2.4 gigahertz is for farther distances, but the performance will be slower, like it will be better on 5 gigahertz, but the range is like not so good in 5 gigahertz, like not as good as 2.4 gigahertz. Then you can rename the mesh point, you can turn off the LED and turn off the system sounds. You can go to about and get to know about the MAC addresses of the access point. So that's basically the app part of the access point. You can change the backbone communication frequencies. You can turn off the system sounds and lights, and as well as restart it and locate it. So if you hit locate, it will start beeping, and that's probably all about the mesh point. So now moving on to the actual real world usage. First, my point of comparison in this video is the Asus RT AC5300. That's the top end router you can get right now. So I've connected to that specific router, and I'm like very far away from the both of the actual routers. So this speed test is from when I'm connected to the Asus router. Let's see how it goes. You can see I have a 150 down and 15 Mbps up connection. I'm barely getting any bandwidth right here at the spot where I'm filming the video. It's not a dead zone, but it's like literally the limit. Like it's the extreme limit of the Wi-Fi connection from the Asus router. It's called, the Wi-Fi network is wide open, and you can see the signal strength is not so great. It's taking ages for the speed test to complete. I'm just gonna wait till it completes. So yeah, finally we are almost done with the download test here. Almost, never say never. Then the upload test. The upload test is, you can see, not so different. It's again like at the extreme limits of the router's like coverage, so you're only getting like a megabit down and a megabit up. Now once this done, I'll switch to the AmpliFi network and then we'll try the speed test. So let me go ahead and connect to AmpliFi wireless network. Oops, my battery is low. So now you can see I'm connected to the AmpliFi network, and let's rerun the test. And as you can see, the signal strength is amazing and you're getting the full 3x3 spatial streams. Usually the ping is much higher because it has to go through the mesh point then to the actual router. Not much high, like there's a difference of 8 to 10 milliseconds because it's going to the mesh network. And there you have it. Like I'm already getting almost 60, 70-ish down, and like it's again shooting up. I have seen like 100% of a bandwidth at this specific point in the past. As like if you compare it to the Asus router, I was only getting a megabyte down and a megabyte up. It was literally the extreme coverage dead end for that specific router. And for my uploads, I have a 15 up connection, so I'm getting like 14-ish, so that's almost 100% of my, not 100, 90-ish% of my bandwidth. So there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching the video. This is the best router you can pick up in the market for $350 in terms of coverage and the kind of bandwidth you can like squeeze out at the extreme points where a normal router would not even provide you with normal connectivity. Again, thank you for watching. Like this video if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, and stay subscribed for more content. Have a good one. See ya.